An interesting paradox here in Sweden. Did you know in Sweden, if you've got children and they are sick, you can call in and get paid to stay home with your children? I think it's a wonderful idea. Didn't have anything like that in the States. If your kids were sick, that meant grandma had to stay with them, or maybe your neighbor or your mate stayed home and didn't get paid, or the poor kid had to stay at home by themselves. That is not the case in Sweden. But this creates an interesting paradox because there are people that abuse the system. There is also not a good system in place in many places to cover for when one of your workers has children and calls in sick. And this creates an interesting paradox. For example, people may not want to hire a woman of a certain age because of the risk of her calling in sick and not being at work. I was talking with a dentist who has their own practice, and they said this is always a problem. They are very reluctant to hire a woman of a certain age because they miss a lot of work. And so the whole point that you're paying them, but then they're not even there at the job, they're at home with their kids. And then that means the other people who don't have children, it's very unfair to them. Some people don't have children, some people don't plan on having children, so they end up always picking up the slack for the people they're calling in sick. It's an unpredictable thing too. You never know when kids are going to get sick. And so it's an interesting thing. I don't think it should go away. I'm not taking sides. I just think that there needs to be some sort of system in place here in Sweden to cover for when people call in sick for their children. What do you think?